Happy May 22nd. This is Åsa. Welcome to More Moths to the People. I am your host. Okay, we are nearing the end of May, which means we are nearing June 11th. And what happens June 11th? That's right, my man's joining me in the business. Now, he ends his job on June 10th. And then on June 11th, we are going to be starting to have some fun together every day. And yes, he is going to need to rest. Yes, he is going to need to land in his new capacity. So I'm giving him time and space for that. But I wanted to share with you, oh my God, last week it was one of those weeks that was so busy, but busy in a way that I felt like I was so excited. I couldn't wait for the next meeting. I couldn't wait to do the next thing because it's like everything was coming together so that we could create our very first sales page. Now, what is a sales page for somebody who does not have a business of their own? People who potentially want to work with you would need to know what it is that you offer. What is it that you actually have out in the world so that they can work with you? And some people just, it's a word of mouth, they would call you, but most people that have a business have a website. And I have had a website. I've had a website before that was Åsa Nilsson Life Coach. And now we have a website for More Moss to the People, which is where all of these podcast episodes are housed. It's a library of all the past episodes, and I love the website. It was created by beautiful Kamel Asli at AP Design here in Västerås, Sweden. Thank you, Ariane Parsi. And I love the website. So when Thomas and I were talking about doing this Swedish death cleaning together, I'm like, well, we got to get pictures taken. I mean, there's no pictures of him and I together, like in a business way. There's no offer out into the world. Like, how would people even know that I do death cleaning? I had like this little tiny blurb on the More Moss to the People first homepage that says, if you want to work with me one-on-one, you could do so, basically contact me here. Well, I hired AP Design again because I wanted their help to design a beautiful sales page that doesn't feel like skeezy, salesy, gross. No gross. We're not doing gross. And it's not like 5 miles long, although there are a lot of words. There's information. I want to share the information of what it means to work with Thomas and I with Swedish death cleaning. So Kamel Asli, the same angel that helps me with these podcasts every week, he's my production manager on these podcasts. He's what makes it sound so good when it comes into your ears later, right? Because I do this part and then he creates his part. And he creates the cover art. He's beautiful. He's wonderful. I love this man. And so he and I sat together last Thursday and we knocked it out. He created the sales page with me standing next to him with his computer and this huge screen. And we created the design based on the same format and the same feeling and flow as the entire More Moss to the People website. So it wasn't like this weird one-off page, right? That's just like, okay, where'd that come from? It feels like it's all together because it is part of the More Moss to the People movement. This More Moss, Less Mess, this working with Swedish death cleaning is a part of the movement. It all makes sense. It's coming together, like it's being sewed together like a zipper. And it feels so good. And I had, my heart just races because I'm so excited. How many people, I have a problem with asking for help, right? Apparently I'm getting over it. I'm getting over it because we reached out to a photographer, Tommy Nestling. Okay, this gem of a human being lives basically in our town, and he takes the most gorgeous photographs of birds out in the nature, out on the ocean. I mean, he's a fisherman, he's an angler. And so he takes gorgeous photographs, and we needed somebody to help us take pictures. And I wanted to have somebody that I really care about. Even though S3e14, the guest from last week, she was not going to be in town. So I'm like, okay, well, who do we need to ask? And then Thomas says, let's ask Tommy Nestling. I'm like, okay, yeah. Oh my God, what a great idea. So we reach out to him, asking him, "Can you take some photographs of us in the forest together?" Same day, Therese Eriksson. I find out she's coming to Sweden. I ask her, "Hey, do you think you could do a drone video for us?" Because, before, when here for the More Moss to the People, I was the only person on the drone video lying in the moss. Well, I wanted my man Thomas to be on the moss with me, right? I mean, doesn't that make perfect sense? We're going to be working together. We're going to be doing this together now. I want him to be lying in the moss next to me. Not holding hands and making out, nothing like that. Nothing like that. Nothing low budge. I'm talking like both of us lying in the moss with this gorgeous drone, a video of us laying in the moss. You got to go check out the new website. Okay, it's not a new website, but check out moremosstothepeople.com. And the first thing you see when you open it up is Thomas and I lying on the moss together, side by side with the drone that Therese Eriksson did for us, this little video. The video itself was like 1 minute and 15 seconds, but that's far too long. And how I know that is because the angel Kamel told me that you don't want to have a video that long when you have a website, because it takes too long for the site to open, and it takes too much. And if people have to wait longer than a second, they're just going to go someplace else. And we don't want that. We want people to come to this website and enjoy themselves and feel like they're connected and that they belong. Yeah. Very important that people feel connection and belonging, because we are all connected and we all do belong. And this is a part of, I want to talk about the Mental Health Awareness Month, which is now May. This is May 22nd today. And I'm recording this very late in the week because I went to Ray, my ray of sunshine, my client, the man who I love. Okay. So yesterday I went to him just for a day, just to finalize some things, just to help him go through all of the final paperwork, because it's all in Swedish and he doesn't speak Swedish. He can't read Swedish. So how is he supposed to know what these documents say? Really important things like changing your address with the tax agency because you're relocating to the United States. Really important bank information like wire transferring stuff. I mean, he doesn't know how to fill these papers out. Paying all the bills, final bills, so that he can close out the accounts, close out the services as of a certain date. He can't do that kind of stuff. How is he going to do that? He's like, "Asa, can I count on you to come and help me?" I'm like, "I'm coming. Oh, I'm coming with bells on, sweetheart. We're going to get you settled. We're going to take care of this. Don't you worry. I am your girl. I'm your girl. I'm coming." We got it all sorted. We got it all sorted. And don't you know, I asked him as I'm getting on the elevator, and I'm like, "Ugh, I don't want to leave him. I love this man. I really, I wanted to stay. I wanted to stay and hang out with him." And I said, "Ray, are you happy with the work? Are you happy? Do you feel satisfied with what we created today? Do you feel more settled because you're moving this Sunday? Sorry, this is Tuesday. So now he's going to be leaving on Sunday. Do you feel more settled?" "Yes, I feel terrific, because we got somebody to come on Saturday to help him take the rest of this stuff out because something else fell through." See? Have backups, always have other people that can help you when you're doing this kind of work, because things happen, life happens, people fall through the cracks. I'm like, "Nah, I can't do it. I don't feel like it." Okay, that's great. Thank you. So then we have other people, right? So this is where you have supports, people to help you find the workers, people that can come in and do this stuff. So I spent my last day yesterday with Ray here in Sweden. And ooh, God, it felt so good. Felt so good to see him and to know that our project has come to a completion. Now, I love that. I need completion. That makes me feel good inside. That makes me feel settled, because when things aren't completed, I don't feel settled. Yeah. And my clients who are hiring me, even though it kind of happens in stages, I think about them. I think about them when I'm not with them. I know I'm not getting paid when I'm not with them. I get that. That's not the point. The point is I care. And Thomas also cares. We are two caring people. So now we have this sales page where we're telling people, "Okay, well, this is what we do. This is what Swedish death cleaning looks like. Maybe you need help with this or this or this." And we've got a package that we've created that we feel really good about, that will come to people up to 40 hours, 40 hours, both Thomas and I. There's three well, we've got different kinds of packages, but the big offer is for the first 4 people that sign up to work with us 40 hours each are getting us both for the price of one. So that's just for a short term. Obviously, it's not sustainable because when you do the numbers and you calculate out all the different things that we have to take off the top, we're making very little, but that's not the point. We want to get experience. We want to meet people. We want to see what it's like to work together, him and I. And it's a beautiful, beautiful offer that we have in the world. And if you know anybody that would potentially like us to come, and we'll travel all over the world. You have to pay for it. We're going to come. You're going to pay for both of us, and you're going to pay for the package fee. But it's going to be done. Like this is for the person that it's like, I know I have to do it. I do not have time to do it. I would rather pay somebody to do it. Well, you know what? You're going to pay somebody, but we're not doing it without you. You got to be with us. But you can sit there. You can sit there with your glass of wine or your cup of coffee and just tell us what you want to do with it. You don't actually have to do the work. We'll do the work, but we need you there because we can't get rid of your stuff without you. Okay. So I want to put that out there. Go to our sales page. Go check it out. It's called More Moss, Less Mess. Oh, and I bought a new domain name it's actually called moremosslessmess.com. I love it. I love it. It's like, it's coming together. It just makes me feel so good. So please go check that out. And I found out that Google Podcasts, they're just going away. They're stopping with it. So if you are subscribed to this podcast via Google Podcasts, you're gonna have to subscribe someplace else, like on Spotify, or you're gonna have to go someplace else because it's going away. Just so you know, because if you're subscribed and you are getting notifications of this new episode when it comes out automatically through Google, that's going to go away. So you may want to go to Apple, you might want to go to Spotify, wherever other places are that people listen to podcasts. You can find us there, but Google's going away, which I thought was interesting. I'm like, what an odd thing to do away with. But okay. So I wanted to advise you of that. And also, this summer, I've been thinking, somebody asked me, hey, are you taking the summer off again? Are you going to be doing your radical sabbatical the whole month of July? And I'm like, I don't know. I want to be working. I want to work. I want to be excited. I want to go help people. I want to help. I want to help. I want to help. I want to move. I want to help us, declutter. I'm excited. But what I am going to do is I am going to take the month off from podcasting. So I'm not going to do any new uploads in the month of July, but I have over 65 plus episodes from the past that I will be putting out every week that, maybe my top most watched or most listened to episodes, or I'm going to do that so that other people can still, maybe if you have missed it or whatever, then you can listen to those. But I wanted to let you know that that is what July is going to look like for me, because I love doing the episodes. I love doing this, but it's a lot of there's a lot of things to it. It's not just I'm recording it and out it goes. I wish it was that simple, but it's not. I probably, like I said before, probably could be that simple, and I certainly do not make it that simple. Yeah, so that's going to be something that will be off of the calendar then in July. So to open us up for more work. Yeah. And then I want to talk to you about mental wellness. What makes you feel unwell? What makes me feel unwell? Stress makes me feel unwell. I didn't know that I was so stress averse. I'm a really sensitive person. I feel energies. I feel other people when they're not happy. I can feel a room. Let's put it that way. I can read a room like nobody's business, and it's all done energetically. So I pick up on a lot of energies from other people. So it's very hard for me to be peopling too often, like in big groups, like big groups. Like I like small groups. I like one-on-one work. That's why I like to work one-on-one. I like to be able to touch somebody's arm or hold somebody, like if they're crying. Just it's important to me. It means a lot to me. And Thomas, of course, he's not big on the crowds either. But I really like to be in small groups. I like spending time with people that I really love. I like spending time with people that interest me, that are doing cool things in the world, that aren't like me, that do not have the same opinions as me. I love to learn from people that are doing life their way. Like the whole purpose and premise of this podcast Why I started this movement was I needed to learn ways from other people that it was possible to not have to produce and to push and to shove and to make all the money and have all the cars, have all the things, do all of that crap because it doesn't matter. To me, it doesn't matter. I mean, if I have food, which I have, thankfully, food. I have shelter. I have money in the bank. I have good health, most importantly. I've got my family that I love, my husband, my cat, my mom, my sisters, my brother, my extended family, all the cousins. I mean, everything. I have so many people that I love and that love me. I feel like I'm the luckiest person alive. And when I start lying to myself, like telling myself like, "Oh god, you know what happens, oh my god, what if nobody signs up to work with us? What if nobody actually wants our help with Swedish death cleaning? What happens if this happens? What happens if she dies? What happens if he dies? Oh my god, what am I gonna do? What would happen in my life?" Like the whole brain thing, right? Like the craziness that we create in ourselves by our thoughts. Whew. Trust me, I can be off and running in a hot second, I can be off, and all of a sudden, my body will become, like, completely sweaty, and I'm like, "Here we go. This is what I'm doing, Asa. Stop what you're doing, and remember, everything is always as it should be. I am safe. I have everything I need and more. More is coming every day. Anything I want, I can have." But what is it that I really want? Being clear, understanding what I want, what is important for me. What is important for me is feeling peace, having freedom, and having community around me. Peace, freedom, community, my three core values of my life. If I feel that you are pressing me and pushing my peace button, like, okay, I need something right now. I need you. I need you. I need you. I'm your boss. I'll tell you what to do. No, that doesn't work for me. It's not that I have a problem with I think I do have a problem with authority, but my problem becomes when your need becomes bigger than my need. Like, you are in a rush, so now I have to rush to accommodate for you. That is not good for me. That does not create peace in my body. Unrest in my family or fighting or bickering or drama, that doesn't work for me. I cannot be around that. I don't create it. I do not cause it, as far as I know. So, yeah, that's for my sake, I gotta steer clear of drama and dramatic people because it's too much. It makes me feel like angst. I feel angsty, and I can't get away from it fast enough, and I don't like, passive aggressive people and behavior, where people don't actually tell you what they're thinking. People that do not really honestly share what it is that they want, who they are, and what are they feeling at the moment. I feel that, so then it becomes like a disconnect, and then I feel dis-ease. I don't feel at ease. I feel dis-ease. I feel like pushed, like, like the constriction. So that does not make me happy. It doesn't make me feel good. And if I don't feel good, then I don't feel peaceful. And if I don't feel peaceful, I don't feel good. Yeah. So loud noises, big crowds, can't do it. I can't do it. I feel very anxious and I need to get away. I'm always looking for the exit. I'm always looking to see where the doors are. How do I get out of here if I need to? Um, which could be past life stuff. I don't know, but or it could be stress and trauma from this life, where being around too much loud noise for too long really, really impacted me very negatively. And the freedom. I mean, what does freedom mean? What does freedom mean to me? Freedom means to me that I have the freedom to sit here right now at 12 o'clock, 12:59 on a Wednesday afternoon and record a podcast episode of my heart for you, with you, listening in one day to this. That to me is freedom. Getting up in the morning and making my husband breakfast so he can get ready, fixing my cat's medicine so that he can get his thyroid medicine before he goes out for the day. That's freedom. Creating like a powerful, purposeful offer and doing something that I love, extending an extension of my heart in the world. You think that feels like production mentality? No way. God, it feels so freeing. I am free. I've created a life where I am free. I am free to travel. If something happens to my mother in Columbus, Ohio, and I am in Västerås, Sweden, something's up with mom, I'm coming. I've got the freedom. I don't have to beg for forgiveness. I don't have to beg for, can I do something? Can I do something? No, 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 no. We go. We go. We got something coming up. Something's an emergency. We're going. Yeah. That's important to me. Why? Because my community is so vital to me. My community is my family, my peers, my best friends, my all humanity is my community. All of humanity, all living creatures. I love animals. I love to see that. Is there a place? Wait, can I help somebody here? Is there something I need to do? Tell me. Let me know. Let me know. I'm here. I'm here. I would love to help. I love to help. I don't know why I love to help. I just do. And people think, oh, really? Is that really what you're like? Yeah, it's really what I'm like. That is really what I am like. I love to help people who will help themselves, and if they cannot help themselves because they have some physical ailments or limits, then I especially love to help them. Like my little sweet Ray, who has problems with his vision. He cannot see, and he does not speak the language. And you know what I mean? Like, of course I'm going to help him. You kidding me? I love him. But that's the thing. I end up falling in love with everybody. I end up falling in love with every single person I work with, whether that's a man or woman. It does not matter because I love community. I love humanity. I love people who say, I need some help. Can you help me? Let me take your hand. Oh, girl, you know I'm going to help you. You know, because I know what it takes to ask for help because I've told you before, I don't have an easy time asking for help. And so now, last week, when I'm getting out of my own freaking way and asking 15 people, can you do my drone video? Can you take our photographs? Can you do the sales page for me? Can you get me a new domain name? Can you do this? Can you do this? Can you look at our press release, Lulu, please? Can you look at this and tell me what the hell do I need to say in Swedish because it does not convert at all from English to Swedish? You know, so many people. I had like 20 people helping us last week. And I was like, wow. I didn't feel like, oh my God, what am I going to do in return? What do I have to do now? What do I have to do to pay them back? What do I have to do to pay them back? I got to pay them back. How am I going to pay them back? You know, like that weirdness of like, Asa, accept help. Accept the help. People, if I'm putting out my hand and people are saying, sure, let me help you, right? They're doing the same thing that I'm so good. I'm so good at giving, but I'm not good at receiving. So I'm working on this, and that helps my mental health because I don't have to do it all alone. I have been trying to do this 7 years. Okay. 7 years. I've got 7 fingers up right now. I've been trying this for 7 years to do it on my own with as little help as possible. Because first of all, well, it's going to cost a lot of money. But does it really cost a lot of money? Have I done the research to really find out what's it going to cost? Because I'll tell you this, it's costing me something anyway. It's costing my peace. It's costing my freedom. It's costing my community because there are people in my community that can help me. And I am good at building community. I am good at helping others. Now, what's happening is all of a sudden, I'm like, wait a minute. I need help with this and this and this. Who do I know? And then I ask other people, hey, do you know somebody that I could talk to about this? And they're like, yeah, you know them too. I'm like, oh my God, I didn't even know. Right? That's what I'm talking about. This is the energy of give and take. And so how do I feel when I limit myself? First off, I'm so uncreative, it's not even funny, right? When I limit myself, I become closed off. I close myself off to opportunities and meeting nice new people and sharing my money with other people that have something to do with me so I can pay them for their work. Yeah. I mean, like, Why shouldn't there be the exchange? I love the exchange. I have no problem paying for work, but it's like in my head, I've been, "No, I'm gonna do this on my own." I don't need to get anybody's help. I don't need a sales page. I hate sales pages. They're so long, and all I do is go like this. I scroll and I scroll and I scroll so I can get to the bottom to how much. How much does it cost? Because I wouldn't even be on your sales page if I already didn't like you. I'll tell you right now, I don't do business that way. I don't buy from people that I don't like. Ha! No way. I don't trust you. I ain't buying from you. Well, then again, you're also not going to be in my community if I don't trust you. So when I was thinking about the sales page, I'm like, wow, Thomas and I really need to get like something kind of, so people know. Isn't that interesting? All of a sudden, now that Thomas is coming on board, now all of a sudden I care about having a sales page. I'm like, well, because now, now I actually have something I really want to sell. I want to offer to the world because this is important to me. I think it's vitally important what we're doing here for work and offering to help people who cannot help themselves or don't wanna do it, or they're too afraid to get started. I get it, Jesus. You know how much that it takes work. Of course it takes work, but it's terrific. I mean, when it's done, when the work is done, you feel like $1,000,000. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna give you an example. So here in my own house, every summer, well, now this time of year, I have usually in my windows, they're filled with plants. And I've got my jade plants, I've got my orchids, and I love them. They're part of my family, part of my community. I told you all living things, and I do believe that I do speak to my plants, and I know that they love being here because they have lived for years, and so they're happy that Thomas and I are happy. That makes them happy, which of course the circle keeps going. Happiness ahoy! So I started a couple years back to take them outside. So they spend the entire summer out underneath. We have kind of like a covered porch, and they are all out there together. So when I put them out, all of a sudden the outdoor area becomes completely alive and it's beautiful. And but my windows become like barren because there's nothing in them. There's nothing, and it looks like nobody lives here. And so Thomas is like, "Awesome." We I was outside working in the yard. I looked in the windows and it looks like nobody is in the house. I'm like, "Isn't it wonderful?" My minimalistic lifestyle. Isn't it wonderful to have nothing in the windows? So of course I caved, and now we got things in the window, got a Buddha, we got this thing that's I've loved for years from Sandy Michael. Thank you so much. Candle holder. I got a beautiful thing that my mom loves. It's hers. It stays here because we can't transport it back to America because it's too fragile. Um, and it feels tidy in my own home by doing something that I love, taking care of my plants and loving them, putting them outside so they can enjoy themselves for the summer instead of being in here in the blazing hot sun, right? And plus, I also have awnings that we have to close because it gets too warm. We don't have air conditioning. Obviously, this is Sweden. So when the high summer comes, that's when we have to close these down, and they won't be able to live. I'm not killing something. I don't plan on killing my plants. I love them. They're my family. So it feels so good in here. I came home today from Stockholm and I was like, I cleaned the floors before I left. And, I don't care about cleaning. I'm not one of those people. I don't care about dusting. I just don't like it. But I know it has to be done. And then when it is done, it's terrific, right? I love it. I love it when it's done. And it feels so good. That's freedom. That's peace. That's community. So listen, so I cleaned the whole house. We did all this work. It looked all nice. And there's a knock on the door. This is not Swedish. This is not a Swedish thing to do, just to pop over to somebody's house. You don't do it. Typically, you've got to let people know like 6 months in advance that you're thinking about coming over. Then they can fix the whole house and have a whole meal and they can bake and all this. And I'm not that person. So knock, knock, knock on the door, and I'm getting dinner together. I walk to the door. I'm thinking it's a salesman, and it's some guys like, "Hi, is Thomas here?" I'm like, "Yep, Thomas." So we had an impromptu guest the same day that I cleaned the home and that it looked so good and so fresh and delicious. We had a guest the same day. I'm like, what are the chances of that? A drop-in guest in our house. It was so much fun. It was so much fun and I felt so good. And again, this is what Swedish death cleaning does. It makes it so that you're not embarrassed having people over. Get rid of your crap. If you don't want it, get rid of it for Christ's sake. I'll help you. We'll help you go through the stuff. We're not the only ones that don't do this kind of work. There are organizers, there are estate clearers, and there's people all over the world that can help you. You don't have to do it alone. Yeah, that's my point. You getting me? You getting me? Are you hearing me? So, what are your mental health awareness month triggers? How can you take care of yourself? Like I told you, I know what my top 3 core values are. Do you know your top 3 core values? And I feel this to be the truth. When you are out of alignment with those top 3 core values, that is when you are not feeling well. Now, of course, there are people that have mental health problems. Of course, of course. I mean, there's depression, there's anxiety, there's every I know it. I'm not talking about that, okay? I'm talking about, oh my God, I've got the worst thing. This is terrible. I can't believe how all the things that I'm thinking, right? The problems that I'm causing and creating for myself by my thoughts. Remember, life is too short to think too much. Life is too short to think too much. How can we feel in, understand what it is that we truly feel? What do we truly want? And how can we ask for help? Reach out a hand. Yeah. How can we reach out and ask for help? Whatever that means for you, that might mean a doctor, that might mean a psychologist, a psychiatrist, therapist, a shaman. I mean, whatever you want to call it, whatever you need. It could be calling a friend. Can we go for a walk? I need to talk. I need to talk this out of me. And when I was doing coaching for the 7 years here, getting it out, speaking, audibilizing what it is that you are feeling and what it is that you want to create for yourself is the absolute most beautiful first step you can do for yourself. To heal yourself, to start to heal yourself, to start to heal your wounds, and, that is what I consider myself to be now. I'm a healer of the clutter wound. I'm not lightening anything about people having bad mental problems. That's not what I'm doing. I am it hit me one day, there's this thing called the oh, you gotta heal the mother wound or the father wound. Everybody's got problems with their moms and their dads, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, yeah." And then I'm like, "Well, I'm healing up the clutter wound." And then I'm like, "Ooh, I'm a healer. I am a healer. I'm a healer of the clutter wound. Why not?" That's right. Thomas and I are now healers of the clutter wound. See, it makes me happy. People are like, "How do you do it, Asa? Why are you so happy?" Because I am creating my life around my joys. I'm creating my joys based on knowing what it is that gives me joy. Gives me joy. What makes me happy is helping other people and helping myself, not just helping others, not just helping, because that is not right. That's also codependency. That's called enabling. And that is called, no, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about my life is joyous because I am choosing actively, consciously what it is that I feel that I know brings me joy. So then for you, what do you have that brings you joy? Like when somebody is saying something like, "Oh my God, you want to go to this concert with me?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'd love to do that." You're like, "Oh, God, hell no, I'm not going to a concert." You know what I mean? Like there's the feeling, the difference, and the energetics in yourself. Now, I'm not talking about what everybody else is doing. If your husband, and your kids, and your parents, and your moms, and that they want to do this, and you're like, "No, no, I'm not doing that. God, no, I'm not doing that." Yeah, sure, I'll go. You know, are you being truthful with yourself? So, my tip to you, my friend, to get out of your head and to get into your heart, dropping on down in there and asking yourself, what are my top 3 core values? Because that not being in alignment will cause this not being in alignment, will cause this not being in alignment, will cause the house not being in alignment. You see it how we're all coming full circle here with the death cleaning, the Swedish decluttering, and all of it. It's all attached. Body, mind, soul, and home. You see it, it is all attached. Closing it in on that one, darling. I am closing it in. I love you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your support. Thank you for loving me. Thank you for sharing your stories with me. Thank you for sharing your hearts with me. And if I can do anything to help you, would you please let me know? If there is a way that I can support you, please let me know. If you would like to share this podcast episode with everyone that you know, because potentially they need to hear something in this episode too, thank you. You do what you want, you do what you can to help me. I would appreciate it. And if you would like to hire Thomas and I to come to your home, wherever you are in the world, if we are able to do it, and we have not signed up our first 4 people to start working with after June 11th, we'd love to come and help you. We'd love to come and help you out. Yeah? All right. I'm going to leave you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Love ya. Have a beautiful rest of your week, and I will see you next week. Yeah?